Well, we finally kick off our Champions League campaign in this episode, but before we get to that match, we have a small problem that we haven't actually won a game this whole season yet. Hello and welcome back to Unemployed to Legend, episode 25 here with Norwich City. My name is Craig and coming up in today's episode we have two matches in this episode. First one against Sheffield United in the Premier League, and then our first Champions League game against Ajax. We'll come to who else is in our group in just a moment. If you are looking forward to the start of our Champions League campaign, I'm also dreading it as well, more on that in a moment. Make sure that you hit the like button down below and smash the big red subscribe button so you don't miss future episodes as we focus in on the Champions League group stages. Now, a few things have happened since the last episode. Firstly, the transfer window has now officially closed. No more players have actually come in. I'm just trying to get in some staff at the moment. But one player has left the club on a permanent deal. Luis Fernando Suarez, that goalkeeper, our backup goalkeeper who I was trying to sell on after we bought in Van der Voort. He eventually went to Zenit St. Petersburg for £10 million, so a nice little profit that we've made on him. I mean, granted, 30% of that went to his previous club, Deportes Tolima in Colombia, because I don't actually negotiate my transfer fees that well. So that's something I'm going to have to focus on in future. But for £10 million, we did well, I think, to sell him on for that, considering he's barely played any games for us in 2.5 years. So we wish him luck at Zenit St. Petersburg. Another thing that has happened as well, the Champions League group stages have now officially been drawn. And it's not the toughest group in the world. Which group are we even in? There we are, we're in Group E. So we have Inter Milan, Lyon and Ajax. Ajax being our first game that we'll see today. We're playing away. I think we'll do well to get a result from Ajax. I mean, if we want to finish in the top two, we're not finishing past Inter Milan. They're going to be way too strong. Where are they? Third. Okay, yeah, they're definitely better than us in Serie A. In fact, what has their history been? Are they like reigning champions or anything? Oh gosh, yeah, they're the reigning Italian champions, so we're not going to be getting past them, I don't believe. Lyon and Ajax, if we're going to have any hope of getting into second or even third place for Europa League, we're going to have to get results against them. So the Ajax game will be a good test to see where we sit. Luckily, that's not the worst group we could have been in. That honour goes to Group C. PSG, Juventus, Atletico Madrid, and poor Sporting. I mean, I don't envy them, but they are the whipping boys of that group. The group of death is something that I'm so happy that we have avoided. And lastly, I mentioned in the intro we haven't won a game all season yet. In fact, if I just show you, ignore this 11-0. That was a friendly for match fitness. But since you were last with me, after that 1-1 draw against Watford in the last episode, we lost narrowly against Liverpool and then drew against Manchester United. Realistically, we should have drawn at least with Liverpool. But for the mistake of Ali Bensouda, my left-back, who I dumped for the Man U game. He's back in for Sheffield United, but I want him to prove to me why he's actually worth a starting lineup. Physically, absolutely fantastic. He should be way better than he is performing right now. He's not performing badly, but he's just not performing to the levels that I would expect of him. So if I just show you the league table quickly, you might have already seen it. Where are we? Yeah, there we are. We're back down near the bottom of the league. This is the third season in a row now. Third season in a row that we have started poorly. Last season, we didn't score a goal in the first 5 games. We scored 3 this time, but we're still down roughly in 17th place. Obviously, we have a game in hand over everyone else, most of everyone else. So we need to make that count today. So this is the 11 we're going to be sending out for the first game against Sheffield United. Nafor in goal. He thankfully survived the transfer window with no one offering anywhere close. In fact, no one offered anything for him, full stop, for the rest of the transfer window. So thankfully, Nafor is still one of our players. Bensouda, Terrell, Lovato and Lucas Gabriel as the back 4. Navarro, Bulgarelli and Kakare in midfield. Rodrigo on the right wing. Nani and Martinyuk up front. I think Cantu picked up a knock during international matches for Mexico, which has just happened. So he's going to be missing this game. Hopefully he'll be back for the Ajax match. This is the thing now. We're going to have about, I think, 7 games in 3 weeks. which means I'm going to need this entire squad to be match fit. So quite a few of them have been playing like under 23 games or friendlies during the international break to try and get their match fitness up. But we are going to need a lot of these players available. If anything, hopefully, it will stop some of them from being so sad about not having any match time. And I'm looking at the players such as, who is one of those players who was actually moaning about it? So I try and find TV view. Ennis, Keane, Lewis Potter, they were all moaning about not having any match time, and that's very close by Nani. So, and Iago, actually. Iago, of course, not very happy, as that shot was, that header just off the bar, as Iago was not very happy, actually, about not being included in the Champions League squad. I should note, oh, for goodness sake, I thought Nafor had that in his hands. I don't know what happened. He seemed to spill it, and it was in the back of the net. Hopefully the referee will disallow this one. But I made a hash. Oh, it's been awarded. I made a hash of the Champions League registration process that we didn't have enough players trained at club. Oh, for goodness sake, Nafor. I've just been singing your praises about being a quality goalkeeper that I'm glad we kept hold of. Right, fire them up. We're good enough to get goals, but we just haven't got enough this season. And there is Nafor, and thank goodness Nafor? Why did I just say Nafor? I've got him on the brain at the moment. Navarro. Manuel Navarro drags us level. 13 minutes gone. And it's all level pegging. Hopefully we'll go on to win the game from here. We've certainly been good enough so far. But as I was mentioning, I messed up the Champions League registration. Didn't have enough players trained at club. So we had to leave a few players out. So Iago's been left out. Not so sad about him. I said Iago. Wallace has been left out. That was an accident. I didn't want to leave him out. And unfortunately, who else was left out? There was a third player, Celerier, who I'm not that sad about being left out either, because he's only just arrived at the club, so he can pay his dues before he officially gets into a European squad. I mean, I've mentioned it before, this is going to be the last season of the entire save, so he's not really going to have that much of an opportunity. As we're heading for half time here, not much in the way of highlights ever since those 2 goals. I still can't get over how Nafor. I've just been praising him a lot, and he's just completely let me down. There is Kakare. Oh, lovely stuff. Kakare with his first goal for the club. This is why I brought the man in, because he can make a difference like that. I've noticed his performances for France have been so much better since we brought him in to Norwich. I wonder if that's just because he enjoys playing for me. I'm playing him in the central midfield role for both Norwich and France, so he's more than comfortable in this role. And that's the sort of thing I want him to be doing for us. Excellent stuff. Outstretch the arms. Oh, we can't. What? Passing's been good. Yeah, you know what? Let's just go with that. I do want us to get the victory today. I'd like us to wrap it up as soon as possible, preferably, because then I can start to make a couple of changes with one eye on the midweek game for the Champions League. Speaking of France, actually, a little update on our World Cup qualifying, because the World Cup is at the end of this season, as that's a poor ball forward by Lucas Gabriel. We've had a couple of World Cup matches just played with France. We've had 4 played overall, and we are sitting top of our qualifying group, 12 points from 12. We've beaten our newest challengers, Switzerland, 3-1 away from home, and they've played a game more than us, so excellent stuff. We are 3 points clear. Game in hand, we need 7 points minimum from the last 4 games in order to secure our place at the World Cup. So hopefully you'll be able to see that at the end of this season. Otherwise I'd have been sacked, because there's no way the French FA are not going to allow France to qualify for the World Cup with me in charge. Well cut out there by Lovato as Nani brings the ball forward here. We haven't focused too much on this game since those goals, of course. Guys, stop with the sloppy passing. Come on. You are much better than that. I've been praising the passing at half-time, and you're suddenly doing this. Maybe I should just not bother. Oh boy. Tried to cut the ball out there, but it didn't quite work, and it is just over. Hanging on a little bit, but it's a bit of a back and forth contest at the moment, as Bensouda is shattered. And Lucas Gabriel might have to go over to the left-hand side. I wanted to rest Lucas Gabriel, but clearly I think I'm going to have to rest him in midweek. Probably Lindelof will have to play there against Ajax. Right, so let's just have a look at some of these changes. Carol Urban, let's have a look at him. I've not shown him on camera yet in a match. That's because this will be his first game on camera for us. This is only going to be, I think, his third appearance. Yeah, his third appearance. He's made substitute appearances so far, but he is a regular for the Slovakian national team. A quality central midfielder, wonder kid, it should be noted. So let's see what he can do for the final 25 minutes of this game. As I think Nani is just run out of energy. Gonna have to be careful of Martinyuk and Nani, of course, as well. We want them fit for midweek. Oh, for goodness, why can we not win headers? It's not like my defenders are short. They're both 6'2". That's Terrell and Lovato. Right, final substitution. We are going to bring on Horo for Horo. I don't know how you pronounce that name properly. Gregory. He's just Gregory. He's going to come on for Nani, who apparently is struggling. So is Bulgarelli. He's tired as well, but we'll hopefully play Onyeka in midweek. Oh my god, that ball just skips past everybody. It's so nervy. Just watching that ball do that half the time. Oh, well flicked on by Haro. Martinyuk. I'll play through to Rodrigo, who should have scored. Come on, man. This is Rodrigo's second appearance maybe of the season for us. He's not exactly firing on all cylinders at the moment, but then Cantu, I'm still preferring to him at the moment. Oh my god, who was that? Who was that? Was that Lindelof? That was Rodrigo. Come on, Rodrigo. Get your head in the game, son. Get your head in the game. You're supposed to be a winner for us, just like Kakare before. Well, I was going to say, well won by Haro. He tried to flick that on very well. And thankfully, it was a shot from distance, but just a bit nervy, guys. Just a bit nervy. What's going on here? We are going to just regroup a little bit. There's no point risking it all at the moment, so we'll just drop back to a balanced mentality. Just do a bit of game management here. It's not the greatest thing for a video, is it? But all I care about right now is the 3 points, and that is our first 3 points, or our first victory of the league season. I'll take that. We needed something like that going into the Champions League match. And now Ajax await us away from home. Let's see how we do. And it's time for the main event of the episode. It is our first Champions League match away against Ajax. And this is the 11 we are going to be sending out. There has been a couple of changes, of course, from the league match against Sheffield United. Nafor still in goal. Bensouda, Lovato, Mobamido, Terrell as the back four. Terrell stepping in for Lucas Gabriel at right back because I don't want to wear certain players out, especially in the full-back positions. Because, of course, Wallace, Iago, Celeria are unregistered. So is Ethan Ennis, actually, which makes a mockery of English players being registered in the Champions League. We haven't got enough, apparently. Navarro, Kakare and Onyeka in central midfield. Onyeka's in for Bulgarelli. We're going to swap Kakare into a ball-winning midfielder role. Apparently he can play there. And Onyeka prefers to get forward as much as possible. So let's go and see how that will do. Imagine if that works. Cantu on the right wing. He's back after a quick fitness test. And Reichel and Martinyuk up front. Reichel stepping in for Nani, who is tired after that last match. I think he took a knock as well, so he's back. He's fine. He can play, but he's tired. So let's just save him for the league matches. In fact, actually, one thing the game did recommend... Let's see if this works. One thing the game did recommend is to try and put the shackles and mark one of Ajax's players out of the game. Where is he? Right, there he is. This guy. May as well just say his name, Anthony. Basically, he is Ajax's main man, allegedly. So, we need to be wary. We need to be wary of all of them, to be fair. In fact, who is in this squad? Who is in the Ajax squad? Anyone that we might know? Tagliafico, I know of. Bakayoko is there. Let's trigger the press on him. He looks tired. He's not match fit. Otavio, Anthony, we know of. Andre Silva. David Klaassen is still there. Blimey, how old is this man? He's 36. Goodness me. He's like a lifer at Ajax at this point, isn't he? Didn't he also used to play for Everton, if I remember rightly? I think he, well, I say played. he was like a bench warmer, wasn't he, most of the time? Regardless, it's still looking like a very good Ajax squad. I honestly don't know how we're going to do against them. If we do manage to get a result here, bear in mind we're playing away at their ground, I will be over the moon. Regardless of if that's a win or a draw, I will be over the moon. Martin bringing the ball forward. Cantu's just cut inside there. Plays the ball in. Oh, it's just wide. I think the ball was whipped off of Navarro's foot there. It is a corner. Cantu to whip it in. And that is... Oh, I thought it was actually going towards the back of the net. It's back out to Cantu, who drives to the byline, and it has gone out for another corner. Putting on some good early pressure in the opening 2 minutes here. Right in front of the Ajax end as well. And another corner has been cleared, only as far as Onyeka. Cantu, he's offside. Okay, I had a suspicion he was, but okay, nice early pressure. Nice early pressure. Let's show them what we're about. May as well do that. Nothing is actually expected of us. The media assume that we are going to be struggling against all of our opponents. I wouldn't be ultimately surprised at that, although I'd love to be getting some good results in this group. That remains to be seen if that is going to be the case. Weichel, Navarro, plays it out to Bensouda. Show me something, Bensouda. Plays the ball in. There is Cantu. Oh, just wide. The header just wide. It was a good cross by Bensouda. He is capable of that. He's just not consistent enough. Even though it says on his report card he is fairly consistent. Apparently, Kakare is being drawn out of position. Why? Who's he been set to mark? In fact... Okay, he should not actually be marking anybody at the moment because there's no attacking midfielder. What I normally do is I have whoever's my ball-winning midfielder, I'll have them marking like an attacking midfielder or someone. But if he's been drawn out of position, there's 0 point doing that at the moment. Right, we have the ball again. Weichel, dropping very deep, but he is a deep line forward. Martin has got the pace and went for the shot because no one was there with him. Weichel was so deep that nobody was anywhere near him to support. Goodness me. It's been fairly decent for us in the first half. I would like us to actually have a goal to show for it. But we have been all over Ajax at the moment. Martin again playing very deep. So is Weichel. Terrell into Cantu. Plays the ball forward to Onyeka. Square it, son. And that is going to be a goal. It is a bread and butter move for Norwich City. Onyeka. Oh, look at that. Bowing to Weichel as our fantastic deep line forward, which wasn't what I was meant to play Weichel as, but he's effective there. But Onyeka showing he does get forward very effectively. Squares the ball for Weichel, and that, as mentioned, is a textbook bread and butter move for us. It is effective. Why not use it more often? 1-0 for Norwich at half time. Navarro losing a lot of possession actually, but absolutely fantastic from the boys. We have been all over Ajax in this first half. Let's just put some shorter passing on Navarro. Just make sure he's nice and comfortable with the ball at his feet and just pass it off. Just pass it off to someone like Onyeka because he's the one who's getting forward. He's just swapping positions with Martinyuk or Cantu every now and then. And our midfield is actually getting very, very tired. We are going to make a change there. Navarro is going to go off for Cal Urban. That's absolutely fine. Bulgarelli, he's not even in the squad because he is shattered. We do have Patino, but I'd like to save that for a little later on. Bensouda is also tired, so what we're going to do... Gabriel is going to come on. Chances are we're going to be resting at least one of our centre-backs for the next league game against Tottenham. Like I said, rotation. 7 games, including the 2 games in this episode. It's 7 games in 3 weeks for Norwich, which is crippling, but one of them is a League Cup game, so I'm going to be sending out the youngsters in that one. Martinyuk. Oh, it's been missed, and oh, Urban missed an open goal. Oh no, that was so perfect. That was so perfect for Urban to open his goal scoring account. Oh, the horror. I hope that doesn't come back to bite us. I really hope not. Amobamido bringing the ball forward. The man is like a pseudo midfielder at this point. Oh, the ball's been missed again there by an Ajax defender. Weichel plays it back to Gabriel, the fresh man, Urban. Oh, ref, he's got taken out there. I don't know if that's a penalty, but he's been taken out. He is just inside the area. I don't know, someone go back and have a look at that. Yeah, okay, it's not a penalty. It's just outside the area, which is a shame. It's not even a highlight. A penalty for us would have been so useful. Right, I think we got one more substitution, and there's a lot of tired players out there. Let's have a look. Lovato is on a yellow card. I don't really want to risk him. Terrell is going to go in the centre. Lindelof can go on the right hand side of our defence. And we go again. Cantu with a corner. Put this in the back of the net. Oh, it's off the bar. I thought it bounced over the line. Oh, Midel. Good tackle by Gabriel. Oh, we've had the chances. Oh, come on. I can't tell from that angle. It looks over the line, but... Oh, no, there's the shadow. Right there, the shadow. Oh, that is horrible. We were so close to a second goal. We deserve a second goal. And the referee just... the goalkeeper just plucks that out of the air. Oh, that was so cruel. Urban has missed an open goal. Aubameyang has almost had the ball over the line. Oh, we deserve a second goal. If we win this game, fantastic, but we do deserve that second goal. Weishall, beautiful ball through by Onyeka. And there is Cantu, and that is the second goal. Weishall has made such a difference for us. In fact, actually, Weishall and Onyeka, they have made such a difference for us in this game. Look at that ball through. Oh, that's good vision by Onyeka. Yeah, he's a central midfielder, isn't he? Kakare can be the ball-winning midfielder, along with Bolgarelli. Oh, that was fantastic. Good stuff. We have deserved that. We have deserved that goal and then some. Let's waste some time down. We can get our first 3 points here. I will be ecstatic. I will be over the moon. You know what, let's just leave that there. Let's bring home the 3 points, and we have just beaten Ajax away from home. We have beaten the 3-time European champions. I'm definitely happy with the result and the way you played, lads. That is amazing. Inter and Inter Leon haven't played yet. Who cares? Stop the count. We're going through to the knockout rounds of the Champions League. Well, we'll see how we do in the next 5 games. But what a start. 2-0 win. Let's just hope we can keep that up for the rest of the group stage. And look at that for a victory. 2.39 million for winning. Oh yes, we could rack up some good money in the Champions League group stages. Well done, Weishall. We do not deserve this man. We really don't. He is such an unsung hero of this team. He's been in and out of the squad, but when he's come in, he's just got the job done. I absolutely adore this player. This man is going to be our Champions League striker alongside Martinyuk. Right, we are going to be back more than likely for another Champions League game. I'm looking possibly at Inter, in fact, yeah, Inter Milan and Chelsea. We more than likely will be coming back for those 2 matches, which will be good progress to see how we're doing in the league and the Champions League before then. If you have enjoyed this episode, make sure that you hit the like button down below and smash the big red subscribe button so you don't miss the rest of our Champions League group stage. What a performance today. What a victory. What 2 victories that we've had. But the Ajax one was so pleasing. Thank you all so much for watching. Thank you all so much for your support on this series so far. Apologies for the gap between the videos at the moment. I hope that you understand things going on in life at the moment. But I look forward to seeing you all in the next video.